Getting closer.
To death? To what are we talking about?
The NFL season. No.
Oh, jeez.
Technically,
Oh,
we are.
heart meat horse.
Yeah. Well, the draft is this week, so that's that's a thing that's NFL related. I can't. It's the
If you
draft.
want to
It's
go
whatever.
full contact on that, just contact my friend John. You'll have an entire weekend of TV, nachos, and spreadsheets.
Nope. I feel like the draft of all sporting events to ever exist, especially in the NFL, you can very much wake up the next day and be like, "Yep, all right."
Happened. Yeah, right.
I
It's
mean,
true. Yep.
anyways, what I was really referring to is some Qualcomm slash Snapdragon slash Elite benchmarks leaked.
Right.
Leaked is probably even the wrong word. Showed up
Yep.
on Geekbench,
hmm
and they look good. That's which just means
I,
we're getting closer.
look, I'm trying to be clear-eyed about this. There will be those moments,
Mm-hmm.
we'll finally get one of these things and be like, oh, that's too bad. Maybe,
Right.
right? But I'm just want to be clear about that. But I also want to be equally clear. Nothing has occurred since that announcement to suggest anything other than these chips are going to work great.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So,
It all pivots on hinges on one thing here, Threat.
hmm
Microsoft.
well, I mean,
Yes.
I could be wrong. In fact, this will be the moment that proves me wrong. But
Mm-hmm.
I feel that they've done that work. I think it's been waiting on the hardware.
Yeah. Yeah, that might be fair.
This is the situation. This was the situation with Windows through the entire 1990s, where the capabilities in the OS exceeded the ability of the hardware. When you kept saying, we'll get it
Mm-hmm.
up here, we'll get it, and it hasn't been like that for 20 something years. And Qualcomm, thanks for the nostalgia. But I think they're going to catch up. I really do. Can't
If
wait.
not, rumor on the street is that next year there'll be what Nvidia or AMD joining the fold. So
Yeah, but the only issue there, I mean, maybe that's solved some problems. I don't know,
mm-hmm.
but man, isn't this pool tainted by this point? I mean, would anyone trust anything at this? I don't know.
I
I
think
don't know.
Nvidia could do all right. I mean, they'd be
Tell you
pretty.
who's not going to do it is Intel.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I am increasingly positive of this, and I you don't know, you get used to what you have. You don't notice things like I've been using the Mac a lot lately, this MacBook Air, and it doesn't matter what PC it is. I mean, I just block it out. I guess like you turn it on and it's like you do something, and it's like you can't lay it on a bed. It has to be on like a hard surface or the thing
Mm-hmm.
really heats up. And then like just inconsistent things like you open the display lid and it's like, let's spin the wheel, Bob, and see what happens this time. Sometimes it comes right up. Sometimes you have to hit a power button. Sometimes you hit a power button, nothing happens. You look at it, you're like, it's a charge. You don't like, and the Mac is always just like, bink on, you know. And I want that with Windows. And yes, please don't tell me I can run Windows on ARM. I know, I did, but I want it. I just want a Windows PC that does this.
Maybe next year.
Maybe this year.
Maybe actually, I shouldn't say. Maybe
But
this fall. Well, no, I guess technically the rumors are what those things start shipping in June.
yep, back to school.
Hmm.
I don't know. I really, I'm so naturally negative is a terrible term, but I'm so naturally negative and cynical. I'm having a
Never
hard time
noticed.
believing. I know. I try to hide it, but the no, I wanted to. I mean, I want it to work, but I have this history with this stuff, and I understand
Well,
it
it's
better than
been
most.
through
And
a few cycles here
yeah,
of
yeah,
Microsoft saying,
I've used every generation of chip. They've all sucked. And yet, I think maybe this is the good sign for the rest of the world. I haven't seen anything to suggest that it's going to be anything other than great.
"Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. Hopefully it is. Hopefully it. The craziest thing would be is that this stuff launches and it's just a non-event because that
This is
just
the
means
dream. That's the dream,
yeah.
right? But you know what? Is it really a non-event though? Because imagine like a non-event meaning like compatibility and
Mm-hmm.
performance and all this stuff. Well, except for silent, uh, performance. I mean, how about battery life? What if that works? You know, I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic because I
Yeah.
can only be cautious.
I'll tell you what, if anybody's listening to this and said, man, I really want a good Windows tablet, ARM would be the one that could do it.
Yeah. And they already have obviously ARM based like Surface Pros. There will be a
Yeah, but
there
those are
will,
really old. Like, I'm talking.
no, I know, but there will be one based on this chip, right?
Mm-hmm.
On one of these chips. And I think, yeah, if you want that kind of thing, I mean, I don't know, go see a doctor first, but whatever. It will be there if you want it. For sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Whatever. Microsoft earnings, I think, is Thursday of this week, right? That sounds about right.
Is that true? That could be.
We'll find out. Microsoft earnings.
I know Apple is next week.
Yeah, 4/25. So 3 days from today. Yeah,
Okay.
Thursday.
Well, neat. I bet they're doing pretty good.
Are you?
That's my guess.
I mean,
My in-depth analysis
of
of this company. I think they're doing okay.
yeah, I bet they make a few billion.
Mm-hmm.
I think the most interesting one will be Xbox, just because of where they're at in life.
Yeah. And where? Well, yeah, right.
The problem is it gets hard to figure out what it is because it's going to be packed in with
It's
all the Activision.
2 billion-ish from Activision.
Yeah.
It's whatever that number was. I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah. I mean, Xbox financials overall are going to look better. Hey, the fewer consoles they sell, the better the business is going to look. I mean, I know that's a terrible thing to say, but
I mean, it kind of is. That's why I don't think they're going to do the Pro model. I really don't.
really,
I don't think they would.
oh,
Here's my nutshell version of reason for that.
okay.
So they have told us a million times their goal is to expand the audience, right? That's what they want to do. They want more people paying for subscriptions. If they come out with a Pro model, they can look back at the Xbox One X from last generation and say, who mostly bought that console? And I guarantee the answer is people who already owned Xboxes, right? They just bought more hardware. So is Microsoft going to spend a whole bunch of money, probably into the billions of dollars, to build a new console, market it, ship it, get it to market, to only sell the same plastic box to the people who already have a plastic box that are already probably paying for Game Pass?
Okay, so I would just counter that by saying that having a couple of models still makes some sense. A device sale is a device sale. You don't get quite the like iPhone level of revenue out of that. One of the advantages Apple has is that their devices, I bet, are by and large like Microsoft licenses for Windows or Microsoft 365. They get paid over time. It's kind of nice for them. Can't really do that with a console, I guess, a little bit, but that's not the primary market. I don't know. I like having the problem is that the core of the Xbox community is kind of this first person shooter, the enthusiast kind of thing. I not having you can't say like, hey, we failed competing with PlayStation, we're going to go for the Nintendo now. It's like I don't know.
Yeah,
I think
I think they keep
you need
the
both.
same consoles, but they'll have the discless version and they'll try to lower the price, and that's going to be it. They're not going to do like
I think that will be the mainstream one, but I still think they need that flagship. Just otherwise they just don't look competitive. Then it's like, what's the point? So you're not as good as PlayStation, and you don't sell as many as a Nintendo. So what are you? What you're just like the middle of this terrible small market? I don't know. It just doesn't.
Yeah, but I don't think they do it.
Yeah, no, you could be right. I don't know. I mean, no one knows, but we'll see. I think they need to refresh these devices, though.
We'll see.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I hope they do.